All right, we're going to look at lesson 1.4, which is applying addition and subtraction of integers. And our objective is that I can apply my knowledge of adding and subtracting integers to real-life problems. And often when we say real-life problems, we're talking about like word problems or something a little bit more complex. So really quickly, I want to review something from 6th grade when we talked about some key math words relating to positives and negatives. So when we see words like down, withdraw, which means to pull money out of like a bank account, deduct, so like money getting pulled out of a paycheck, lose, below, take out, if you're writing a check, you're removing money from your account, or descend, to move down. These are all words that tell us that that number that goes with it is negative. So these are negative math words. On the other hand, when we were talking about words like up, deposit, putting money into an account, you deposit a paycheck, earn, gain, raise, increase, rise, or ascend, to move up. These are all words that tell us that the number going with it is positive. And these are going to be helpful for us when we start to look at word problems. All right, when we are looking at a multi-step problem, we're going to use the cubes method to help us solve it. So before we read through the problem, here's the steps we're going to go through. We're going to end up circling key numbers, underlining the question. We're going to box math action words, which are these guys up here. And we're going to evaluate what steps we need to take, and then we're going to solve, and we're going to check our answer and make sure it makes sense. All right, so here's our word problem. A seal is swimming in the ocean 5 feet below sea level. It dives down 12 feet to catch some fish. Then, the seal swims up 8 feet towards the surface with its catch. What is the seal's final elevation relative to sea level? Our first step is to circle key numbers. So I'm going to go and I'm just going to circle key numbers. Here's a 5. Here's a 12. Here's an 8. I don't see any more numbers. So we did that. Next, we're going to underline the question, which is just this last sentence. What is the seal's final elevation relative to sea level? We're going to box some math action words. Now, when we see 5 feet, we see the word below. We know that below is in our list of negative words. So I'm even going to go ahead and I'm going to mark that with a minus sign, a negative sign, because that tells us it's a negative number. Then it dives down is another action word that tells us that it is negative, or we're subtracting. It dives down 12 feet to catch some fish. Then the seal swims up. Up tells us we're moving in a positive direction toward the surface with its catch. All right, so we've boxed our math action words. Next, we're going to evaluate our steps. We've got 3 different numbers, and we want to know what the final elevation is, where it ends up after doing these 3 things. So we're going to go ahead and add these together. If we are 5 feet below, we already decided that's negative, so I'm going to write negative 5. After that, we are diving down 12 feet, and I'm going to put parentheses around my negative. We're going to dive down 12 feet. Now, down, we could say this is plus negative 12. We're adding 12 feet deeper that we're diving. And lastly, we're swimming up 8 feet. This 8 is positive, so we're just going to add 8. Here's the steps. Here's what we're going to do to solve. Our last step is to solve it. Now, we're used to solving just two values at a time, so what we're going to do is we're going to ignore this last one. We're just going to do negative 5 plus negative 12 for starters. We know how to do this. We've got same sign, two negative, same signs, add and keep. So 5 plus 12 gives me 17. And they're both negative, so I'm going to put a negative sign on the front. We still have this plus 8, so I'm going to bring that down. Now we're adding different signs. Different signs we subtract and keep the sign of the bigger number. 17 is bigger than 8, so I'm going to go ahead and do 17 minus 8, which gives us 9. 17 is bigger and was negative, so our answer is negative 9. Does this make sense? If we look down here, we swam down quite a bit before swimming up a little bit. So it makes sense that our answer would end up being negative because we're still underwater, or the seal is still underwater. So, and when we talk about sea level, we're talking about sea level being 0 elevation. So if sea level is 0 and we're at negative 9, we are 9 feet below sea level. You could also say the seal's final elevation is negative 9, and put a period, and that would be the end. You are going to go ahead and use the cubes process to do some practice problems. Let us know if you need help.